Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for another episode of the Damn Podcast. I am your host, Corey, and joining me as usual are my co hosts, Nick.
Hello, I forgot to push the talk button. How's it going?
Hey, Nick. And then we got Justin.
Guys, I'm wearing a white hat now to indicate
Nice, I
summer.
like that. And Jamar.
Hello.
It's good to have everybody back and done being poached by other podcasts that I will not name.
Oh no.
Not to
We,
mention just stuff in general.
We did a couple episodes on the Training Stage podcast if y'all want to check it out. Just to kind of do more of a conference by conference analysis for the conferences that are actually worth analyzing of E3. They had us all on. Well, not all of us on in one episode, but they kind of had us on here and there. So you could see us on those episodes. They should be up soon. Tyler said he'd be uploading them soon so that you could go catch them and get a little bit of everybody's input on that. There's a lot of good stuff in there. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about our usual what we've been up to. It's been a minute since we've recorded. So I just beat Resident Evil 8. Terrible game. I don't recommend it to anybody. It's just awful.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew Lady Dimitrescu was too good to be true. Oh.
There's no dating option, I guess.
No. It kind of gets a bit sour. You have a thing going on, but just you can't come to terms with this is the height difference. That's what kind of kills the relationship. No, it was good. I'm not 100% sure about how I feel about it yet. I think it definitely was a solid game. I had a lot of fun playing it. Obviously because I knocked it out in like 2 days. My main issue was I feel like they're kind of retracing their steps back to Resident Evil 4, which I think is a bit of a mistake because I feel like with Resident Evil 7 they really mastered survival. Well, not really mastered, but they set an atmosphere and a tone, and it felt scarier that way. And then Resident Evil 8, it feels like it's getting more action packed again, like Resident Evil 4 was, where you're just like a badass just blowing down zombies and you just don't really have to care much. There is like moments in Resident Evil 8 where it gets spooky and scary, but they're kind of segmented. Like they segment regions of the game out without spoiling anything. They segment regions of the game out, and each region kind of does its own specific thing. And that kind of breaks immersion a bit because you'll go into one region and it's more based on fighting. You'll go into another region. It feels a little bit like Outlast where you're hiding and running around. You don't have any weapons. You go to another region and there's sort of puzzles. So I don't know. It kind of felt like it was playing around with different styles and couldn't decide on anything. That and it's a dad game, which I have to dock a little points there because I'm kind of tired of dad games.
Yeah, they've been really common in like I don't know, like the days of like with like Last of Us, and I think Just Cause 3 did that as well and all that.
Yeah, and but it was fun. It's just I felt like they kind of lost track a little bit with it for me. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping for in a way, but it was unique. And
we were really hoping for Lady Dimitrescu to be in the game the entire time.
Yeah.
I think that's the real issue there. Because I thought it was an excellent game on like how the pacing with the characters, and they kind of went back to like the Resident Evil BS on like how Nathan's able to pit back not Nathan, Ethan Winters was able to pit back his hand, and just the zaniness of like Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's the Resident Evil storytelling of only letting you know enough information so they can kind of craft the story around that gray area. They kept you out on it the whole time. It's like, oh, you must have caught this, right? And it's like, no, you purposely withheld that information from me.
Hey, Chris, why are you shooting my family? No time to explain. I think there's plenty of time, actually, Chris.
Basically, yeah.
You lying sack of shit.
Yeah, it was fun. I think personally, I think I like 7 a bit more. I think 7 and 8 are completely different from the other Resident Evils, so I don't really compare those that much. But I felt like I liked how 7 did it a little bit better, especially because you're kind of stuck in that environment that you're familiar with, and that environment's just changing constantly. It gives that bit of a PT feel. I think they're really wanting to incorporate that, since everybody was really interested in it at the time. I don't know. I'm excited to see where they go with it, especially after how 8 ended. I kept making comparisons to Evil Within too. I don't know if you played that, but I saw a lot of parallels with how Evil Within 2 felt. Not only because Evil Within 2 was also a dad game, but because it was sort of had like trippy hallucinations, and like the environment was like all crazy and melting, and unique
that's
monsters.
Really that one point.
Huh?
I feel like that was only one part of the game that had like this trippy part for Resident Evil.
Yeah, but they're also really similar in how the combat. I mean, obviously, like, you know, one's third person, one's first person, but you know, you all have like your weapon modifications, and it's like a survival action sort of. I don't know what I'm getting at here, but I don't know. I felt like they both had that kind of like open hub where they could fight off monsters and you could collect loot, and they also had, the only real difference is in Evil Within, that hub like respawned every time and you could like grind things out there. But I felt like the action horror was a bit better in Evil Within 2, especially the weapons I felt were a bit more fluid. I mean, they're both very talented members of Resident Evil, made both games. So I mean, maybe they're taking a little bit from each team. I don't know. I'm excited to see where both series go. Well, we won't see another Evil Within for a bit. We'll see Ghostwire next.
Hopefully Resident Evil doesn't turn into Resident Evil 6 with its next game.
I don't think they'll make that mistake again.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely they're definitely going in the right direction with it. I'm interested to see where it goes. Outside of that, I started Sakuna, Rise and Ruin. What is that? What it is? Rise and Ruin?
Yeah, Sakuna, Rise and Ruin.
Yeah.
And 13 Sentinels. I haven't really gotten that far into either of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, seems like you've had a decent time with the games, the Weeb games, indeed. And yes, it's such a shame about Lady Dimitrescu. Her reign was so brief, and yet
it's like 80 years.
Yeah. Well, she definitely lasted longer than Samsung Girl. Samsung Girl died off so fast.
She'll be immortalized in internet memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those memes are like already dying.
Yeah.
Like, they died real fast. Like,
what have you been up to, Justin?
All right. We might as well talk about this together, Jamar. So me and Jamar both played World's End Club recently. We basically sort of had the same issues with it, although I liked the game more than he did. Basically it's the new Uchikoshi game, and apparently Kodaka, the creator of Danganronpa, is set to work on the game, but I have no idea what part, because he is labeled as creative director. And last I checked, creative director means you're in charge of the advertising. Like, I have no idea what he contributed, because like it said the script was written by the Zero Escape guy, the scenario written by the Zero Escape guy, and it's like, oh, so it's Uchikoshi, one of Uchikoshi's games. And it's like, okay, then what did Kodaka do? And nobody gives me a good answer on that.
Maybe he was just like, let's make kids, like, let's have them murder each other, or like but like
But
vaguely.
Uchikoshi does murder
yeah,
games as
Zero
well,
Escape.
though.
Yeah.
His Zero
Right.
Escape games
Wait,
in
what
particular does.
what did Uchikoshi do on it?
Uchikoshi is the main writer and such on World's End Club.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, okay, I have no idea what if he's the main writer. Then what the fuck did the Danganronpa guy do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. So just like his previous game, AI the Somnium Files, it's mostly visual novel with like occasional gameplay segments in there.
Mm-hmm.
And except this time, instead of like the very kind of trial and error investigation in the dream sections and AI Somnium File, it's now a very simplified version of Limbo / Inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's basically. I mean, okay. Granted, I don't think the gameplay is much different. Like because at the
It's like
end of
a
the day,
short
Limbo and
platforming segment.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much all Limbo and Inside were. You press right, you push things, solve some puzzles. Obviously, although in World's End Club, the puzzles are a lot easier to the point that it felt like an obligation. Whereas with Inside, you're getting chased by dogs. Well, you get chased in
Yeah.
World's End Club too, but they were really easy to dodge.
Yeah, I think they made the puzzles easy enough to keep so you could get back into the visual novels.
Yeah.
What's the point in having those if the main meat of the story is going to be the visual novel? Which going back to it, I thought the story was actually good. Just like keeping out the gameplay of how these
Yeah.
kids get stuck in this subterranean thing and go into the apocalypse. That actual story part was pretty good. It's just that middle gameplay of
Yeah.
just kind of press right.
Yeah, Somnium was like that as well to a degree. Because like now the gameplay in Somnium was that actually had sort of a bit more of a purpose, even if the gameplay was still trial and error, because you needed to like use it to like get into like the characters' psyches and also determine what route to pick. With World's End Club, it's basically an introduction to like the characters using their superpowers and also token effort to develop the characters. I think the characterization for World's End Club was kind of mixed bag. All of them get characterization, but only some of them get decent characterization. I remember Genu's was all right, was fine. But like a lot of them were like a lot of the characters are basically this is what I do, and it's like also and I'm not gonna really have any importance after this aside from being one of the characters to participate to like contribute in the finale. So it has. I mean, I guess even though this is I guess sort of the way like how a bunch of the characters in Danganronpa 1 were. Like a bunch of them were like just there. Yeah, which is funny because I'll get into this a little later, but I'll get into this later, so I won't expound too much on it. But yeah, I guess a bunch of the characters did have like Danganronpa 1 character. Well, actually, the whole game had Danganronpa 1 character issues, and only some of the characters were developed, including like without spoiling too much. There's a character named Yuki in the game. And she was basically just a MacGuffin. Like, because you can't play as her, and she gets like, and when you find out about her, it's like, oh, it's like it doesn't it really mostly contributes to just as an excuse for the game to have like a token good ending. Kind of reminds me of Tokyo Xanadu and the childhood friend in that.
So, what part of the game did you like?
Oh, I like this. I like the road trip. It kind of reminds. Granted, I like it more in Persona 5 Strikers, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But I did like the whole road trip aspect. I liked the whole innocent kid vibe that Uchikoshi was going for with this one. I know he's famously stated he prefers to make games that are interesting rather than games that are good. And it's like,
Did you do both?
I mean, yeah. Ever since 999, he's definitely been going like really hard on that logic. I find.
I know. I
And
still like VLR more than 999, but not.
yeah,
I mean, they're
yeah,
still
but
pretty close.
yeah, but VRR had a lot of improvements from 999. It also went really crazy on some things, like some of the stupid plot holes in that game.
Yeah.
But back to World's End Club. I like the twist regarding the main character that I won't spoil. And I do like how the game, even though it doesn't make much logical sense, it kind of commits to not making logical sense.
Right.
Like it's because for like a sort of like a kind of like a foul parody of the Saturday morning cartoon thing. Because my big problem with 999, sorry, AI the Somnium Files, his last game. While it is also crazy, it also tries to lean very hard more on the logical side of things, and it falls flat on like quite a few aspects of it. So I do appreciate how World's End Club goes for more of a this thing we're doing. Yeah, this is happening. Does it make sense? No, but we're doing it anyways. Yeah. That's it. That said, though, I really hope that whatever game Uchikoshi and also Kodaka has this issue too. Whenever game probably coming next, they get someone who's like good at game design, because like none of their games really have had really good game design. They like there is no reason for there to be a delay when you hit the jump button. Like I swear it took like half a second when hitting the jump button before they would actually jump. Hopefully and obviously that's not going to be the game that gets 2PO games into the spotlight like their previous games. They need something really big. So yeah, so that was like that. So that was my opinion. I do agree with Uchikoshi. That was interesting, but I would not put it in like my top 5 games of the year unless there was just like nothing else.
Guess I'll go next. We already covered World End Club and Resident Evil. I'm just gonna say one thing: Resident Evil 8, though it was good, it kept with the Resident Evil stupid lore, and it looks like they're probably gonna end up retconning 6 how the story ended with 8. So good on there. But I've been playing Guilty Gear, a stride that just came out last week. Pretty fun fighting game. Probably the best looking fighting game in a long time. Probably from King of Fighters 13. Gameplay is good. I hate the lobbies because you have like little characters and you have to walk to another character to initiate a battle, which they could have just did like a simple lobby system. You just click a button to go to ranked match or free play. But other than that, I'm really enjoying the game, and like I was playing something else. No, I think that's probably it on my end. Nick?
Oh wait! Before we go and highlight this, but I've also been playing Persona 5 Strikers. I finally started on that, and I'm really enjoying the game. It's actually better in some ways than the vanilla based Persona 5, because I haven't played Royal. Like it's got the character interactions are better. I like how I do think the narrative is a little more focused and such like that, and it's like it's a pretty good spinoff. Like this like it's gonna be hard to like it's honestly great. And also the localization is a lot better. They're like jokes. Ryuji actually gets to say the F word in this. Congrats, Ryuji. It's too bad though that Ryuji's voice acting is kind of muted because unfortunately his voice actor had a crap. But whatever. Anyway, I won't go too long because we made his turn.
Yeah, it's a lot. What I've been doing, I almost forgot about Age of Calamity DLC. I got that. I've been playing that over the weekend. It's more Age of Calamity. So the Zelda spin-off Muso game. I mean the DLC has kind of added some more quality of life features. There's like all this whole new tree of advancements with Robbie and Purah. Robbie and Purah are still not in the game though yet. Maybe they'll come in the second wave of DLC in November, I think. But I've been enjoying it. I also got the greatest game so far this year. Turnip Boy commits tax fraud. It's
That's a good name.
it's pretty great. I got it on sale on the eShop. It's kind of like a Zelda top-down light
Is
sort
that
of
the
adventure
actual
game.
name of the
That
game?
is the actual name. It's got a lot of memes in it, but it's also kind of a deep story that I surprisingly don't want to spoil. But it's an indie game, and it was like $5 on the eShop, I think, for the sale, and I've definitely been enjoying that.
Guy, Turnip Boy. Oh yeah, here, yeah, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
It's
Yeah.
Nick, would
very
you recommend it?
game. I would if you could get it. I
It's
don't know
also on
that I could
Steam.
recommend it full price, but even
mean,
still, it's like less than
It's
$20.
30% off on Steam right now.
I feel like I would recommend it then. I've put it just make 1 or 2 hours into it, but for that short time, I've really enjoyed it. And then also, so we had a movie watch party then on Friday where we watched Bo Burnham's Inside special musical thing on Netflix.
It's basically like one of Bo Burnham's specials, like because he's done specials before.
If you've seen some of his other, I guess he's from YouTube and stuff, and I tried looking at watching.
He's
some
also a
of his
famous
stuff
director.
beforehand.
Like, have you seen 8th Grade?
No, I know he kind of So he was a YouTube star, and then he went into more acting, directing, mainstream stuff, I guess, and then now he's kind of back to his musical YouTube little short video ways. It's basically about the COVID lockdown experience, and like, I don't know that I can really recommend that because it was like we were kind of laughing and joking and stuff about it, but like also our conversations during the movie were sometimes like more interesting than the movie itself. Is like, okay, yeah, we get it. It was very sad. You couldn't talk to anyone. You're very lonely.
Yeah, I watched the movie.
I don't know that we need a third musical about this, Bo.
Yeah, I watched the movie. I watched the movie too, and it was very. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to if I was cutting in. By the way, I just wanted to like. I just wanted to like say that yeah, the special was interesting in regards to like the music numbers he created and all that. I don't know if there's like much appeal besides the music numbers and the jokes though. Cause like I laughed. I remember laughing at like 2 songs, and the rest of it is like, well, this is you're a musically talented guy.
I was trying to I was thinking originally that it was going to be. It's like the tale of the time, where it's like something you got to watch because it's 2020 and 2021. But it's honestly just kind of more just sad and depressing. Like I really don't want to.
It's always like kind of like that though.
Yeah. So if you want to relive the good old days of last year, then sure, check it out. But otherwise,
yeah, I remember. I can't remember which joke was the one that made me laugh. It honestly, because like I liked the songs, but I didn't remember any of them after I finished it. But I just remember like the only thing I kind of remember is actually no, I don't remember anything about the special other than that the songs were decent. I like what? How would you compare it to like say Dr. Horrible's sing along? That was the big Netflix music.
Yeah, that was fun, and there's like a plot to that. He just spent a year in this very tiny apartment, and just this one song he was like naked, and we're like,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
If you're a Bo Burnham super fan, then this is your cake. You can eat it, but otherwise, it's kind of rancid, sour flavor.
Yeah, I mean, it has really good reviews, so clearly it appeals to like the people who watch it. But yeah, but to be fair, it is a comedy special. It's not meant to be like it's not like advertised as like like his movie 8th Grade. So I think it was definitely worth a watch. Although I obviously wouldn't say it's one of my favorite specials ever. No, not compared to like John Mulaney's special with the kids. Or Dr. Horrible, I guess. Although I have not watched Dr. Horrible in forever. So
it's old, but yeah, maybe we want to move on to what we thought was the most exciting announcement from E3.
All right, let's get into the big guns. A lot of us have already talked about E3 lately, so let's see if any of our opinions have changed since then.
Okay.
Like I definitely watched a few videos on E3 just to like see what other people thought.
Yeah,
I liked how it was how I learned about
any
Gearbox
reviews.
because I didn't watch that presentation at all.
Yeah, I truthfully didn't watch it either. I mean, I don't. It. I knew it was gonna be a wash. Like I couldn't imagine Gearbox having anything whatsoever to show.
Yeah.
But for me, definitely Metroid Dread. I mean, we knew a 2D Metroid was coming, and I never expected it to be Dread because they supposedly canceled that game over 14 years ago. Which if you don't know, it's a sequel to Fusion. And the new WarioWare. I didn't expect a new WarioWare. Even though there was rumors and hints everywhere that they were looking at making one, I just didn't expect one so soon after WarioWare Gold on the 3DS because that was only like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. So that was like, yeah, I didn't expect one on the Switch this soon. Yeah, that was the big hits for me. Sorry, Square Enix. Sorry to
but Corey,
Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry, it's just not.
But Corey, the chaos, chaos, man. How could you beat that? How can you be more hyped for those than chaos?
Yeah, I guess if you don't mind me kind of defending you, Justin, just because
you can
Corey and I had like the same picks. I'm happy for the Metroid. It looks good, and I've always been a big avid fan of WarioWare, so
yeah,
can't wait for those games.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys really excited for some more Charles Martinet and his cast of goofy characters? Of course. Do you get to play as like all of Wario's friends in that one?
Yeah,
like,
usually.
Gameplay?
Usually they have their own sections, like their own mini games and stuff.
Yeah. This time you're controlling the characters actually with.
Oh really? I didn't get to watch too much of the gameplay on Treehouse.
Yeah. I mean, it's WarioWare, but
the last WarioWare I played was the one on Wii U, and that was just such a disappointment.
Which one was that one?
Game and Wario.
Oh yeah,
I didn't play that one.
It was not great.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, my one thing I was really excited for was fucking Mario Party Superstars, man. I'm
pretty excited for that too.
Yeah. I would have been less. Reason I kind of got excited for that was I recently played Mario Party 2 with 3 gamer girls recently at a bar, and I beat them with 20% of my power. It was not like 20% of my power was all it took to beat them, and they were like, "Oh
the
my
game
god!"
With Chad.
What bar has Mario Party set up?
With gamer girls.
I need to find out these bars. You need to like pick me up, lady.
It's a bar I recommended to Madeline. I saw that Maria was a part of that meetup actually, Nick. The that whatever retro gaming thing, and I basically went to one of their meetups and got to beat all three of them at Mario Party 2, and it was a blast. We had more fun with the Mario games than we did with the Steam games that they also brought there. And yeah, it brought back nostalgia for Mario Party, and now that that's back, I'm definitely excited to revisit Mario Party back when I played it a lot, because I kind of fell off after the GameCube era.
Right.
Well, during the GameCube era, but this is the N64 era, and seeing it brought back with like the Super Mario Party updates,
the good mini games,
the mini games. Well, as long as they don't bring back the Mario Party mini games where it was just rotating the control stick.
Oh, they're gonna bring the one where you had to have a mic, and it's gonna come with the mic hookup.
I don't think it existed in the N64 days, did it?
No, it was on the GameCube.
Okay, so definitely not. It's only going to be Mario Party 1 to 3 from the last I checked.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, and hopefully it gets some updates over time. People are hoping for like more than 5 game boards, because like strangely the board that we played, Spaceland, that's one of the ones that's getting remade, and boy, Bowser's laser cannon was cheap.
I played Super Mario Party at Andrews, and it was like the latest one, it was like the boards were so tiny.
Yeah, they
I was
were.
like, what?
I still have not played really. I played a little bit of Andrew's Super Mario Party as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
it's okay.
It's a fun game. It's just
It's
like the mini games
serviceable.
are still fun, but
Yeah.
yeah, the boards unfortunately were not great.
Yeah, I
We were
was
talking
not
about this a
crazy
little bit
about
on
that.
the
They took away mini game
podcast.
spaces, I think.
Yeah, that is like the board design used to be a lot more creative in the earlier Mario Party.
Yeah,
games.
because you have
Yeah.
Donkey Kong spaces, Bowser
like multiple
spaces. Now you have like
Yeah.
3 kinds.
You
That's
could
it.
like really.
Well, that I
Yeah.
mean, I guess maybe
Have,
that's
like, a
because
lot of
Donkey Kong and
strategy.
Bowser are now playable
Yeah.
characters. But
Yeah, they
could've
lost
just
the
taken
they,
these
they
ones.
lost the IP to Bowser and Donkey Kong. That's what happened. They can't put them in
like
games
some of the
anymore.
recent games, like
But yeah,
everyone's in the same car, going on the same track anyway, and it's like, what's the point of that? There's no strategy. There's
They
no
couldn't.
like.
Yeah, I think the Mario Party creators forgot that the boards were an essential part of the Mario game, Mario Party experience.
It's like,
that's why they
oh, yeah.
released. That's why they released the Mario Party Top 100 after all. And
Yeah.
by
No,
that
Yeah,
one,
it's just
It's like, we thought you guys just enjoyed the mini games. You like the boards too in this board game?
Oh, quick question: is Hudson still making the Mario Party game?
I thought I got the license got transferred to Camelot, and that's or something, and that's why the recent one's been shit.
No, because Camelot only does like the sports
Yeah,
games.
Camelot
for...
only does the sports games.
Let me look up who did Mario Party 9, because that was like the one that's when it started to go really bad. Because,
ND Cube. ND Cube.
that's
did
right,
it.
ND Cube.
They
that's
did
right.
Super Mario Party, so I think they're also doing the they're doing Superstars.
Okay, well they did improve with Super Mario Party,
So,
and
yeah, they did Mario Party 9.
Yeah.
They took over after 9 or during 9.
yeah, they did, and that was when Mario Party got bad because it was just a cooperation
Well,
game.
surely
where you
after
weren't-
like the 6th one they're developing, they've got it down. They've understood the formula.
Well,
But I mean,
yeah, we'll see.
you could say
well,
that for you could say that for a lot of game studios.
they're bringing back things in this remake, so it's like, yeah, maybe they won't screw this up too much. I mean, yes, they will. You will still, although they will have to like do some changes, because I think you can still play as Bowser in that game, and that would make the Bowser spaces kind of awkward to actually.
Oh, they could do like a Nega Bowser or like an eviler Bowser.
Yeah,
Right,
'Cause they
How
want
about that?
because one thing that is
That's
impressive
much.
about Super Mario Party is like now that the different characters have their own dice blocks now, so there's actually
Yeah.
a real reason to.
I like
actually
that. I like
choose.
that
Yeah.
actually.
That was
Yeah.
interesting in that later.
Yes.
I thought that was like actually one of the cool mechanics they added.
And another thing I'm excited for is another party game, the Danganronpa Danganronpa Island mode, which is the mini game from V3 gets expanded to a full game, and we get to have like the same RPG strats, but more importantly, the character interactions. So many more character interactions in that game. Like we get to see the Ultra Despair Girls cast like talking with the cast. We get new CGs. Like I get to see like but the characters from V3 hang out with the characters from 1 and 2 going to the beach. Although I still don't get why Mukuro still has to wear the goddamn Junko disguise. Why don't they just put her in like her regular design, without the wig, with her like purple hair and stuff. She actually
Cutting
looks cuter with
costs.
that.
Yeah,
Cutting
it's
costs.
COVID. Like to reanimate that, it's gonna take like a year. So
But such a
Where
shit.
they just use the same Junko model.
I know they just use her with the same, where she's wearing Junko's a wig and just has the freckles and such. It's like, no, I like Mukuro without the disguise. Also, by the way, I looked at the cover art for the new Danganronpa Decadence, and it has like all the main characters on it and such like that. And then there's some weird choice like Akane's on there for some reason, even though she's not really the most important character around. But the one that surprised me the most was Hifumi. He is front and center. Like he has like
Does.
so much taller than all the other characters. He's
Takes
front
up a
and
lot of
center
surface area.
on the
I
cover.
didn't
Like
see
he's
there.
like he looks like he's the villain of the game, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is Hifumi getting so much focus on this box.
Kodaka strikes again.
Yeah, I like you can see it if you like go to the Nintendo side and Danganronpa Decadence. You'll see Hifumi on the front, like so prominently on the front cover. And it's like, yes, I'm the new villain of this game. I'm totally not this annoying simp of an otaku who only contributed rarely to the trials. Granted, he was very important in trial too, and then just
Oh, yeah,
was
he's in the background.
was an asshole the entire time. It's just like, yeah, Fumi, you're totally the most important character of Danganronpa. That's why you get so much box. That's why you get that's why you're on the box. Yes, that's exactly why.
Super quick, Justin, and everybody, they have a collector's edition.
Yeah.
Of this, so
it's all right.
Those usually resell pretty high.
I don't need the money.
But yeah, I'm obviously not gonna go for that. I buy my games digitally now.
I've owned the Danganronpa's collections like twice already. I don't need another collection.
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, why Fumi and his goddamn spiky ahoge? It's like that's exactly the kind of promotion he needs, that he deserves. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing Summer Camp. That'll be fun. I like the mini game from V3. So yeah, and so I'll pass it off to you, Nick.
Yeah, it's hard to like really say. There's a lot of exciting announcements. The Soulstorm looked cool, but like things that I was excited to go and buy, the list is narrowed down a little bit more. Halo, or not Halo, Metroid Dread does definitely look awesome. I have played all the previous Metroids.
It's a good looking indie game.
Fusion and stuff.
Yeah, it does look like the best indie game.
Yeah. And it's just going to be interesting because during the Treehouse and development and stuff, they were definitely talking about how this is going to be the conclusion of the 2D Metroid storyline, and with Samus and the Galactic Federation and the Metroids and stuff.
Well, they said the story arc. I don't know if they meant the 2D Metroid games entirely.
Pretty sure that's what they're
hopefully not. It's like Samus, you can't be in 2D anymore. We're sorry, you've concluded this arc.
What does that mean? I was talking with Maria about this, and it's like interesting. Like, is Nintendo maybe looking to kind of end any of the storylines of some of their older characters?
Well, they've hated Metroid for years, so maybe they just want to end it entirely.
That also could be it. But yeah, it's just interesting. With like Breath of the Wild, also too, kind of like it's like combining all the timelines all into one. And not that there won't be another game after Breath of the Wild 2, because it definitely makes a ton of money. Zelda, I mean, makes a ton of money, but
no, I think this is the end of Link's arc. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's the last one.
Yes, Legend of Zelda will end with a new protagonist, Tingle.
Oh yeah.
He did have his own game, so it could happen.
It's like Tingle's Balloon Adventure, I think. I don't remember.
It's just like Nintendo has so many IPs, and obviously they can't like keep pumping out games for all of them. But
Mario and Zelda are like the ones that sell the most, though, so they're gonna keep that going.
But I would rather them, like, for maybe some of the older IPs, like, make a game and say this is going to be the last game.
We need another Kid Icarus for sure.
Yes.
I was going through it, and I'm like,
end on cliffhangers in a sense.
And like, we need a new Ice Climbers game.
There's only ever been like 3 Kid Icarus games, and he's in Smash.
Well, actually, 3 maybe.
NES, Game Boy, and I think Uprising is the 3.
Yeah, I said 3.
And it's like, it feels like Kid Icarus has so much lore, but I'm like, where do you get all that lore from with 3 games? And it's like, that's a big universe that it looks like they could build off of, and like really the only one I consider, only one I know I would even be able to play that holds up is Uprising, but I can't play that because I'm left-handed, and that's left-handed people can't play that game.
Yeah. Dang.
So maybe they'll make it. I don't know. There's a lot of IPs they come back to.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, there's a lot that have a lot of fans, and like Pikmin and F-Zero and a lot of older games.
But F-Zero will never get another game. It's already dead.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it gets arcade games. So
I don't think there's a big Ice Climber fan base that feels snubbed every E3, to be honest with
No,
you.
like they were a low priority in the 3DS Smash and Wii U Smash game because it was unlikely they would ever get another game.
Well, it was because they couldn't get the models to work right on.
But he decided it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
He decided it wasn't a big deal because they were never going to get another game.
Too difficult to develop for the 3DS.
But yeah, the only other announcement was kind of like the Halo Infinite multiplayer. I wasn't very good, but I was kind of into Halo multiplayer in middle school, high school. So it would be fun to play again, all the abilities and all this stuff. And it's interestingly they said it's going to be free. I mean, you have to have the Xbox Series X and S or whatever. But that's interesting
with Game Pass.
Then
free
Infinite
with Game Pass.
No, I think it was even without Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
I may have to double check on that.
Oh, no.
But like that, it would just be as a free service. Now there would be a battle pass that to get more cosmetics and all this stuff you could pay money for. But then the question is anyone going to actually buy Halo Infinite, the game, the single player story? Because like if most people want to get the game to just do the multiplayer, are people really going to want to pay at all for the single player of the story? They're working so hard with Cortana, all this whatever build up story.
The answer is yes, because there's still people that's super into the story. Because Master Chief has to finish the fight, like how he had to do in 3.
Yes.
But no, people are really still interested in the story because I saw kind of like internal surveys on should they actually finish an actual story on it. And it's been like a resounding yes. I don't think Master Chief story should keep going. I think it should have ended at 3. And they should have just carried the story with the other Spartans. Yeah. But that's not my...
If you would have read the books.
Yeah, that's kind of the
TV series.
Wasn't there a Halo anime?
Want to tell new stories, new characters, but the main character is just so famous, everybody knows Master Chief.
It was an anime movie.
That, if you did the second Spartan from ODST or whatever, no one's really going to care about them.
The ODST guy wasn't a Spartan, was he? He was just like a
ODST
foot soldier. Yeah, it's like ODST drop units. Yeah, that's why they suck so bad in ODST and they have no energy shields, is because you're not a Spartan.
Oh, it all makes sense.
You're just like a footman. Yeah. Your UN troops. Well, cool. Do you guys want to dig into a little bit of other news, and then we'll get to the conferences? Sound good?
All right. So what news do we have here anyway?
Yeah, Nick, why don't you kick that off?
Yeah, I was like kind of just things I was hearing in the news and all this thrown into here, but not all of it's like all that relevant. I was following the Tokyo Olympics drama, I guess.
I don't know anything about it other than it's apparently still going, but
So I think I could brief it real quick if you don't mind me, Nick.
Yeah, go.
So Olympics is still going, but people outside can't go to the Olympics, which is one of the biggest uproar because you go to support your country wherever the Olympics is going. So only athletes, trainers are allowed, and like film crew are allowed to actually go into Japan, which is a double-edged sword because the whole kind of travel and entertainment industry was banking on people coming to the Olympics. Because when I was there, and I think you might be able to agree, Court, they were building hotels and like trying to renovate the city to accommodate the traffic that's going to come in, which is going to be a big hit, another hit to Japan's economy.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're saying, maybe only Japanese people could even be in attendance in the stadium, but then their chief medical officer is like, no, we can't even have that really because we don't want to show like on TV people in the crowds because we don't want people in Japan to think that the pandemic is over because it's like still definitely not. They're still really going through some rough times. They got the Delta variant then going on there too, and it's just not going so great. But good news, we have a Dallas native. Actually, I just heard today, Shakari Richardson, in the women's 100 meter. She seems to be pretty popular on social media and stuff. She has like red hair, looks really cool, and so she'll be competing on behalf of, on behalf of the United States, but really on behalf of Dallas. So be on the lookout for her, I guess.
Yeah, she looked very anime, which I approve.
Pretty much. Other stuff, there's new Pokemon cards that are like Yu-Gi-Oh cards that now is their next series. They're called V Union, and you need to like
Oh
four
no.
cards to like build the one the one card. It's like the cards are already like causing all these scalping and people fighting over them, and the price is going up. And then now they're like, okay, yeah, now to even play one Pokemon, you need 4 cards to even play him.
Pokemon Synchro, Pokemon XYZ.
This is why Target dropped out. They're like, we're done.
And Walmart too.
Oh, Walmart too. Wow.
Yeah. We don't want scalpers in our stores anymore.
Well, it's not even the scalping. They don't mind scalping. It's more of the violence.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the weeaboos.
No, they could videos, and stuff. Like people are like fighting, beating up each other to
get those neck beards out of our stores.
Oh jeez. Says VTuber Coco's graduating from Hololive. We don't really want to go into that all that much.
Well, maybe she'll actually collab with Mel now that she won't be tied with cover and all that.
But if that's something you're interested in, there's been some developments with that.
The archives will be up. They're there.
Yeah. So our favorite Square Enix's most popular game then this last year, Balan Wonderworld. Unfortunately, despite us all giving it 10s on Metacritic, unfortunately it didn't sell all that well. And Mr. Sonic Team Nights into Dreams himself, Yugi Naka, was unfortunately it seems like was let go from Square. He kind of like deleted
wasn't that the deal
Square on his LinkedIn or something? I think.
Yeah, wasn't that the
like
deal
how they found
with
out originally?
Yeah, wasn't sorry again for interrupting you, but wasn't that the deal with his contract with Square Enix? He was given a chance to like make one platformer that was successful with them, and if he didn't deliver, then he would be let go.
Correct. That's basically was the contract, and he fucked up, which is sad because it's one of those. You're known for one good thing, and you can never achieve such greatness, even greatness as Sonic. He never actually recovered or made a good game past that. Because I went through his kind of video game history. I own a lot of them. There hasn't been a game that was like a critical success since he left Sonic Team. And I think I put it in chat. He did have some like interesting ideas, but it could never formulate into like a successful game. And he was talking about going into retirement after this last foible. And maybe it's time for some of the old guards to kind of put down their sword and let the next generation continue video games. And also,
it's really cheesy.
Yeah. Also, I looked up the sales for Balan Wonderworld in Japan. During the opening week, it only sold 2,100 copies.
Damn.
2,100, like
2,100.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched. I found I watched Some Call Me Johnny's video on Balan Wonderworld. He and his brother kind of eviscerated the problems with that game. Like you get a bit of a tease if you watch Donkey's video, but he mainly highlights on like the power ups, Johnny's video was more of like everything
In-depth.
else, like
Yeah.
how it's a single button. You can only a single button is the only input you really have.
I mean, you could do a single button. Heck, if you look at games like Undertale or Ali Ali Ali, I think those were single button games.
Yeah, but
Only
as a 3D platformer though.
I mean, if it's done correctly, you can make a single button game. I mean,
yeah.
this the game was a whole problem. Like,
yeah, but well, the thing is though, a platformer, you want the ability to jump no matter what.
Yeah, that's
But
the
then
one
a lot of
button.
then a lot of the power-ups don't let you jump. So it's like, why don't you just give me a button to jump and then another button to use the power-up?
Oh, you just press the jump button twice to activate the ability.
Yeah, that or the power-up's instant.
Yeah.
As soon as you touch it.
Well, yeah,
old school games are like that.
That's what the Fox power for.
The wall would push you forward, and then you just jump over obstacles.
Yeah.
Most of Donkey Kong countries are kind of like that, right? Like where the
No,
wall
Donkey
just
Kong
move
countries had
really quick.
multiple. Well,
It
yeah,
had like two buttons. Well, three
okay.
buttons if you do like the kind of
Multiplayer.
tag out.
Yeah.
No, that was too hard for me, so I didn't
But you
play
may
it.
as well be playing Google Chrome's like the internet is down dinosaur jumper game at that point.
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat was just 2 bongos.
Yes, but it was more than one button. Is the thing.
No, I think there was just the 2 bongos.
Bongos.
And
Yeah.
I mean, there was an options button to pause.
Yes.
You count that.
Yes. Yeah.
I
I wonder though, is it like with Keiji Inafune and that was it his fault or just that he just didn't surround himself with the right people?
Oh no, it was his fault. Like he had full access to Square Enix.
Okay. Because with Mighty Number 9, a lot of it did seem like Keiji Inafune just didn't surround himself with like the right people when he was working on that.
Sometimes it just ends up that way, or maybe just the stars don't align with that team.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time, you guys want to dip into the E3 announcements?
Yeah.
Yep. After
Valen's
disaster was pretty much like
we can give our glowing reviews for each conference. We were very, very generous.
Yes, we were.
So first up is Summer Game Fest, and I saw a few good games there. Let me pull up the list real quick. Does anybody have the list?
I don't have the list.
All I remember was the final
it's
trailer.
kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard because we got that Elden Ring
and the 2-point stuff. I know the 2-point campus.
We had that Elden Ring announcement, and then that just kind of like really took the show. I mean, for me, that I think for a lot of people that was like they were just waiting there. Like, you saw chat the whole time, and on YouTube it was like, "Where's Elden Ring? Where's Elden Ring?" And like, of course, it was gonna be at the end.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's probably the worthwhile mention because that's all I can remember.
Metal Slug Tactics looked cool.
Yeah, Metal Slug Tactics.
If you like Metal Slug and you like tactical games, like it's like tile set, kind of like Advance Wars, right? So that looks fun. Metal Slug is a cool series for that. And Kojima came up, right? Kojima came up with the Death Stranding director's cut.
Yeah, but it's like it's a director's cut.
Don't care.
Who really cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
It's like whatever. You can make a director's cut of Death Stranding. Fine, whatever. Next.
What else was there that was kind of cool?
I mean, the 2-point hospital fans get 2-point campus, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Those fine games.
Yeah. Other than
There's a near announcement.
Was that in Summerfest though? Was that in Summerfest though?
We got the Fall Guys 2B costume.
Remember? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was the highlight actually.
Yes, that was definitely the highlight. Okay, yeah.
We got another Tales of Arise trailer.
Yeah, but
just like whatever, we already know.
That just highlighted the last 2 characters, last 2 playable characters, right?
Yeah.
It's like, like I'm trying to stay away from that because I know I'm going to be playing Tales of Arise, unless the reviews are terrible.
I believe we also got a, if I remember correctly, we got more info on Dying Light 2 again. The lead creator came up and he gave a little conference. Not really a conference, but he was like it would do a little bit of story, and then it would break to the director, and then he would talk a little bit about the plot point a little bit, but without spoiling too much. And then they gave a release date for December 7th this year. Hopefully they can make it. I know Techland has had a lot of issues recently, just with like I believe their creative artist left. Like the one of their artists got removed. I don't remember. There was a couple games at Techland. I always get it mixed up with the issues that's going on with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines right now. So I'm getting them mixed up probably, but there was some issues, and there was like stuff about it being a toxic work environment at Techland. So hopefully it still makes it out, and it's a solid game, and whatever issues hopefully get resolved. But because I'm really looking forward to Dying Light too. We had a lot of fun with that co-op. But yeah, Elden Ring. What do you guys think? You guys watch it?
Yeah. Oh yes, I did, and I wasn't as hyped as some other people because it's because like it's Dark Souls with a horse.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Lightning bolt.
Well, not really disappointed. I was kind of hoping they would continue the trend of changing it up, like changing the Souls format up. Like with Bloodborne, it was that fast-paced combat where they kind of limited you to not having shields, and you had to like worry about parrying and deflecting. And then Sekiro, where it was just all deflections. You either figured out how to parry an enemy's weapon or you died. That's it. So I really liked that FromSoft was going through that trends, but I think it's probably time. It's probably time to go back to the basics. Go back to the Souls format at this point. But obviously we saw there's going to be some. It looks like Souls combat, but there's some definite differences there. Like we saw some weapon skills he had, I think, where like the swords just started like glowing, and like magic was coming out of the swords, and it looks like there was some more unique magic in that one. And they've never done a great job with magic in Souls games. It's always been a little bit wonky. If you've ever played through a lot of the Dark Souls titles, like either they'll put 2 or 3 magic types in, and one will be really OP, one will be underpowered. So hopefully they get a nice little mix here, and PvP's not too broken if they're going to include it, which they probably will. But I'm also interested to see what J.R. Martin, right?
J.R.R. Martin.
J.R.R. Martin. I missed an R.
George R. Martin.
George R. Martin.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that guy, the fat guy.
Yeah.
I want to see. I want to see what the fat guy wrote.
From what I heard, he contributed pretty little, which makes
sense.
That's
not surprising.
Because he only writes like 1 cent a decade. So.
Yeah.
And everybody died.
which is why most people didn't think Elden Ring was going to show up because George R. R. Martin writes so little, but then it turns out his contribution wasn't really that much to begin with, so that's why they could get the game out with a 2022 release date, January. It's like, damn.
Yeah, it's going to get delayed.
I need to actually hurry and beat Dark Souls 3 sometime.
Yeah, I need to go back through the Souls games probably. Maybe not the first one, maybe the second one, because I never did all the DLC in the second one, and I need to do the third one and all of its DLCs. I never beat the third game.
I haven't finished it either.
I want to beat Dark Souls 3, and I'll get to that sometime. Just been busy.
But I think I've put enough hours into 1 and all of its DLC. I don't need to go back.
Yeah, you're fine. Ubisoft.
So what do you guys rate, before we move on, what do you guys rate the Summer Game Fest?
2.5 stars. Like, I'll admit some of the games were not for me, but there were just way too many multiplayer shooters in that thing.
I'll say a C+. Are we doing numbers?
Well, 2.5 out of 5, by the way.
We'll do alphabet. We'll do letters.
If it's alphabet, then solid C.
Solid C. Okay, I'll give it a C+.
I'll do C+ as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd give it a okay. It
You give it
wasn't
an
for me.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, so that's a C.
An okay out of awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Ubisoft, we forgot to talk about Gearbox.
Do we?
No, we
Did-
don't.
Didn't they just release a movie announcement
like-
and a game that had no gameplay? And it wasn't, or even a trailer. It was just like, we are making this thing.
Yeah, it was the Tiny Tina like game, right?
Oh, the DLC.
Is it a DLC?
Yes.
I thought it was DLC.
Let me check here. Because we clearly didn't watch it because we value our time. It didn't. I don't think any of us expected Gearbox to come to E3 with anything.
I expected nothing,
new
and I'm
game.
still disappointed.
Oh.
The new game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It's a high fantasy spin-off of Borderlands and a new movie. So yeah. So maybe Tiny Tina's Wonderland will be good. I doubt it. Because they can't even make the main series games right. So Borderlands 3 was okay, but I mean it's clear they've kind of lost the vision for the series a little bit.
No, I think they still have the vision. They just haven't grown up with the series. Like 2
That's a
was
fair
the high
point.
point. Yeah, 2
That's a
was the
fair
high
point.
point, and when
It's
3
like-
came around, 3 was basically 2, like 10 years later.
Yeah, it's like, well, even then, I think the joke delivery was more creative in 2. But it's like it's like they looked at the script of 2 and they're like, oh, we can make those jokes again, and it didn't bleed over like you said. And
I think it's more that we got older,
mhm.
and then we heard the same types of jokes, and it's like,
That and then when they try to drive in a serious story with Borderlands, you're just kind of like, what are you doing? It's like,
Yeah.
what? But I don't know. Gearbox is not doing too hot, but hopefully they can get it together. I give it a D. I
D minus.
Yeah.
Having not actually seen it, I refrain from actually scoring anything.
Yeah, it does not apply.
Not
for me.
applicable.
No.
So Ubisoft, we got a Tom Clancy's new Rainbow Six. There's aliens and zombies.
COVID.
Alien zombies. What do you guys think of that? Is anybody play Rainbow Six?
I tune out as soon as I
No.
hear Tom Clancy's name now.
It was going on like way too long. They're like, oh, and then here's this type B zombie, and then now they evolves into type C, and he can only see you when you're moving, and then we got mushroom spores on the ground. I'm like, that's just
Right.
I don't want to play it. I'm sorry, but it seems
Um,
interesting for
I
those
mean,
that are into it.
there's.
But
I mean, I'm sure they'll get a good amount of people still playing Siege. I'm sure Siege still does pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like they released Siege on another console or something recently.
Siege has been
So-
out a long time at this point.
Yeah, but they did another re-release on it for somewhere. I had to look it up, but Hey,
Honestly,
we
the
like Siege.
highlight was the Mario Rabbids 2. I mean, I know a lot of people who really enjoyed that game. It was kind of surprisingly good. It's like a Mario. If you haven't played it, it's like a Mario variant of
On.
XCOM. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the
With
rabbit game?
Rabbids. Yeah. It's getting a second game. So that means
it's
I'll have to
definitely
beat
a
the
good
first one.
mix. Yeah,
So-
the style of comedy and stuff and interactions with the rabbit characters, they're kind of making fun of like the Mario characters, but it just kind of works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
Rabbids
does
has
seem-
always had the goofy humor.
It doesn't seem like the kind of game that really needed a sequel, though. It's just like, yeah, this.
I
this
think
is
it's
fun.
I think it's cute. Like
Yeah.
I like the Ubisoft Nintendo collabs that nobody really asked for. It's just kind of like, oh, cool, you know. It's nothing like I do know people who are actually looking forward to a sequel to the game, but it's nothing that like that I like E3 was hanging on by threads if this game wasn't announced kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
no, the first one was good, and I'm always amazed how close Nintendo and Ubisoft work together. Because
yeah.
wasn't it like Ubisoft released a lot of games for like the Wii and Wii U, when
Yeah, the
other
Wii, the
did it.
Wii U, they've had like a solid relationship with. They were like honestly one of the only third-party developers developing on the Wii U. Um, Black Flag, I believe, even went to the Wii U.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I believe Black Flag was on the Wii U. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of cool to see that crossover because of that relationship. You don't usually see that, especially when it's like a American publisher with a Japanese publisher.
No, Ubisoft is European.
Are they European? I know
Yeah,
they
they're
have
French.
I know they have Montreal studio.
They're
And
French.
oh, are they? Okay.
Yes.
I thought they were in the US.
And again, Nintendo doesn't give their licensing very easily to companies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I
it's been a
found it
little bit more
interesting to
lenient in
compare it
recent years.
to like the Paper Mario. So if that's also like a spin-off game, and Miyamoto is like, you can't make any modifications to the Mario characters. Don't make them too crazy or anything. And then you get the Rabbids game, and then you get like these like OC characters that are interacting with Rabbit and Mario, and you get them like Rosalina, Rabbit, and it's just like they have a lot more
Yeah.
creative freedom with
Yeah,
this
and that's
spin-off
cool.
game, which is interesting.
It's
I
kind of
think it's
like
great.
Cadence of Hyrule was
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But Miyamoto hates Paper Mario.
Miyamoto's
that's
about
a-
ready to retire.
He's never going to retire. Like, he literally go be in ICU. He's like, I have the next
Gonna-
game ready.
And like do the Walt Disney thing, like freeze his brain and we had a like Guitar Hero or like a Rocksmith came back. I remember that a while back though. They didn't release Rocksmith for a long time.
Yeah, but this one's actually teaching people how to play songs,
That's
which
lame. Not a rhythm game.
But it is a rhythm game.
Oh, is it?
You actually learn a skill.
I don't want to learn a skill.
Like classic guitar. Do
I
you
like play video games.
Guitar? Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty cool. I've been meaning to learn to play guitar eventually, but this I don't know that I like this because it says it's like a subscription service.
Yeah, like Peloton, but for guitar.
Each month. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I think that's fair because if you get tired of it, you're not stuck with the game.
Yeah.
And only getting $1 at GameStop for it.
Riders Republic. I actually don't know what that was. I may have missed that part.
I think that was a snowboarding game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It has snowboarding and a lot of other downhill.
It was kind of
like extreme, like sports. Like, dude, look at that kick flick, McTwist.
Yeah, it looked like kind of an indie, sort of like not a really high budget snowboarding game, but it looked kind of like a, I don't know, what wasn't a Shaun White developed one, you know?
No.
If you're into extreme sports and stuff, that's your game. But otherwise,
New Just Dance 2022. Surprisingly, not a Wii version. It's crazy. Finally pulling the last game pulls its Wii support. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting more DLC. Avatar, the game. Is that open world? It's open world, isn't it? It's like an open world Avatar game.
I mean, it looks nice, but yeah, it's again, is anyone really asking for this besides James Cameron?
No, just James Cameron.
I mean, they saw an IP and they're like, "Oh, we can do this." They saw it 10 years too late. Over 10 years too late.
If they tie it with the release of the movie, it'll just be like back in the old days when they had
movie games.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
nobody pays attention to them.
Don't worry, it'll be like a nephew's gift. Like, here, Avatar the game.
I mean, there were some good movie games, like and TV series, like the SpongeBob games had a few hits. Barnyard was fun. Did you ever play Barnyard?
I actually did play that.
That was a good one. It was solid.
Yeah. But there's one more game on the list that you didn't have is Far Cry DLC for the new one.
Oh, yeah.
Where they bring back the villains.
Yeah,
and you play like mini scenarios. So that's cool. They got all the voice actors for it. And they're re-releasing Blood Dragon, which is probably the best part of Far Cry series.
Yeah, I love Blood Dragon so much.
Yes.
That's like the only Far Cry I've ever beat. Probably. So what we give Ubisoft? Give them.
I have to give not applicable because I didn't watch Ubisoft.
I was thinking about a C plus. I'm not like too. I won't buy a lot of these games, but there was. I mean, they definitely gave us a plan for the following quarters. So I mean, regardless, I think there's stuff there, and I'll definitely get Rabbids.
Yeah. I think I already got the Far Cry game from an AMD promotion, so
yeah.
Once I'm able to download it, I'm ready set. I'll buy the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
If they update Blood Dragon graphics, then it's a win for me.
Yeah.
Aside about the Rabbids game, I do wish Tom Clancy will stop making video games and go back to writing books.
Also, wait, isn't he dead?
He's still dead.
No, they have his body and he's
they just
games.
They're forcing him to write stuff from beyond the grave.
I mean, there's never been delayed Tom Clancy game because he's still one working on them.
He's a bit of a ghostwriter.
Yes. Yeah, he's been dead for 8 years.
Oh wow. I give it a 3 out of 5. Guitar is not a video game, and that's the wrong avatar.
What is that in?
So that's all I'll say.
What is that in grades?
Yeah, like a C plus.
C plus, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. There's cool stuff, but it's not. And I may check out the Mario Rabbids sequel because it does seem like going into space. Rosalina is there.
Well, look at it this way: Ubisoft is doing the world a favor by creating a Mario game that's actually not going to be like static at $60 for its lifetime.
Yeah, because I saw that Mario
It's gonna
Rabbids
go down to like $20 after about a year.
And that's fine. I think that's
so good. You can get a Mario game and not pay an arm and a leg. And that's all thanks to Ubisoft for once.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. We have the Xbox Bethesda conference. We didn't put a whole lot here because there wasn't a whole lot of anything, honestly.
I know. There's a lot of shitty conference.
Yeah, there was the Xbox fridge.
That was the highlight.
I didn't see anybody else take note of it, but actually me and Tyler noticed there was the a new Plague Tale game.
Yeah, no, I noticed.
I was pretty excited for that because I still haven't beaten the first one, but I do kind of like the story, so I was surprised they got another game. So that would be pretty cool to like continue. It gives me a reason to go back to finish it. And Stalker 2 looks good. It looks solid. Hopefully, it turns out to be a good game and that community finally gets the sequel they deserve. Outer Worlds 2 looks well, we didn't see anything really.
Yeah,
but that was a good.
But that's great.
Like, teaser. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yes. All the Yakuza games are on Game Pass. Sega has basically bled the Yakuza Blood Train drive on every other platform. So
they've done everything they can with that series at this point.
I mean, it sold very well on PC. It's so good on PlayStation. So it makes sense to dump them on Game Pass. So
yeah, they've taken really smart marketing approaches to Yakuza over the past honestly,
5 years?
Yeah, 5-6 years. Whenever they started the remasters, they just started that marketing team's like, let's get this going. We're gonna actually sell this series this time. We're gonna sell this series in the West. And they did it. I mean, they've been doing it.
Yeah, so hopefully this will lead for them to re-release the Samurai Yakuza game, which was cool.
Yeah, that's the only one that never made it here.
Where you can slash a guy 50 times and shoot him in the chest, and the guy will not die.
I think that's the only one that never made it here.
Correct. That's the only one that didn't make, because the zombie one made it.
Yeah,
we didn't need the zombie one. Just send the samurai one instead. You can have the zombie one back.
Well, to be fair, Zombie 1 did give us a very cool remix of Get to the Top.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
other than that, I think
pretty much it.
Yeah, I talked a lot about it during the Training Stage podcast, but not a lot that's coming out for the year. Just a lot of stuff in the future.
Most of it was like 2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get intrigued when I saw the Aiden Chronicles trailer on there. I was like, ooh, oh yeah, that's right. This game is coming out. Unfortunately, not anytime soon. 2 years for the main game and 1 year for the spinoff.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? About what Xbox continues to fail to do is to show us what all these studios they've been acquiring are actually doing. And yeah, we talked about it on the Training Stage podcast. Yeah. It's just like they have so many top tier developers, but we just don't get any word out of any of them. It doesn't seem like we have any dates. Like we don't know where Fable is. We don't know. Well, we did get Psychonauts too. That's right. I forgot about that.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, I'm excited about that. But yeah, who knows if it will actually be coming out? But it does look good. Very in the spirit of the first one. Very creative.
Rare is on Sea of Thieves duty till they eventually disband.
Right. They're just gonna be like, they brought in the Pirates of the Caribbean characters.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they did.
Like that seems kind of like, what else can we expand our Pirates game into? Oh, what's the big IP? Pirates that we own somehow. Well, sure, yeah, we'll throw them in there. Like
I don't know. That's a lot of money for a license.
We didn't see. Well, I mean, 343. We're still in kind of the dark on that. We saw the multiplayer, but and we didn't see anything on Perfect Dark. We got a shout out. Well, no, we didn't get a shout out either.
No, he mentioned. Phil mentioned it. He mentioned almost all the old mainline studios that's within Microsoft, the old school ones, but there's no real like trailers for those games. And like one of the biggest things we talked about is, yeah, it's nice to get it mentioned, but what are all these studios that you acquire in the past like 5 years? So yeah, it's Microsoft is patting themselves with Game Pass, which is cool. Like getting the whole Yakuza series on Game Pass, getting the new Flight player.
We didn't see any Hellblade 2 announcement either.
No.
Which is weird because I think Ninja Theory out of the studios is probably one of the furthest in development right now. They're probably getting near done with Hellblade 2. So that was weird, and then studio. I don't know, but I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff we could be seeing. There's a Crackdown studio. I don't remember who does that.
I don't know, but I don't care about Crackdown.
Nobody.
We don't talk about Crackdown.
Yeah.
We could have seen a Gears teaser at this point, right? For a new Gears.
No, it's still a little bit early.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's still early before we get teased. It's probably be something next year.
Yeah, but I mean, Gears is one of the few things holding Xbox up right now.
Yeah. So with the game, Microsoft/Bethesda.
Oh, that's another thing. Bethesda has a lot of games in development we should have seen. We should have gotten a new Wolfenstein announcement. Because it's been a while since Colossus.
Wolfenstein has been so bad ever since
Colossus has sold fine.
Yeah, sorry.
Colossus sold fine. I don't like the new games. I think
the one after that though was such garbage.
Oh, with the Daughters?
Yeah.
They also did the Cyber Pilot VR game. And then they didn't show Deathloop and Ghostwire probably because it was Sony exclusive. But yeah, I don't know. We could have seen more. But C minus. C minus.
I'll give it D+ because they did announce the fridge and it has a release date.
Outer Worlds kept them at a C for me. Probably.
I had to give it a numerical score. I would give it a infinity divided by infinity, which is undefined because we still don't know the process or like the how many games are going. So
well, we don't know anything.
Yeah. C+ because half the games that they showed did not have any gameplay.
Yeah, I mean we got Outer Worlds, Psychonauts info. Well, we got Outer Worlds too.
But at this point, Psychonauts info was like everywhere. Like
we know that was coming out.
We got Game Pass updates, and we got a fridge. So C minus.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it a C
and
minus.
also
Okay.
and also what? But I don't think Bethesda's game announcements were good.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah, but they did show Starfield and the high resolution sandwich.
Starfield, yes, but did they show any gameplay for that?
Yes, yeah, they showed the sandwich.
Was the gameplay anything that wasn't super scripted?
No, it was just a sandwich. It was just a video trailer. It wasn't any.
Remember what they ended the presentation on with that that vampire Left 4 Dead whatever thing? I was like, yeah, like at first I was like, okay, yeah, this seems like a decent conference, but the more I thought of it, the more like, oh yeah, half the trailers didn't have any gameplay.
And
so now
for Bethesda, the real big announcements were the MMOs. I mean, we got Fallout 76, the Brotherhood DLC, and then we got the Elder Scrolls Blackwood. And it's like, but that's such like a small niche within Bethesda community. It's like you gotta give us more updates than that.
I mean, Fallout 76 obviously should be.
Not to mention that those are usually announced well ahead of E3. So, yeah.
Should we move on to Square?
I guess.
Yes.
I mean, if we have to. There wasn't that much with Square.
What are you talking about? There was chaos.
So they moved moved Crystal Dynamics off of the Marvel games. So Eidos Montreal is doing the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and I mean they showed it way too long. It had to have been up like 30 minutes. It felt so long.
It looked like an okay game, but then it just kept on going, and I was like, and I was realized, oh my god, Square, is this the only game you're going to be showing in this?
Basically, it was. Yeah.
Did Marvel pay them to show that? Because like I know the Avengers stuff also was shown longer.
No, that's just I think they want to make a series out of it, and it's just it's not getting the traction they thought it would, and I think that's relatively obvious that it wouldn't, because they're just trying to tackle too much with those games. They're trying to tackle a whole cast of heroes in one game with all the gameplay mechanics required to make those heroes feel like fully
but you can only play as Star-Lord to begin with. So
yeah, but you'll switch. You'll probably switch like you do in the Avengers throughout the story.
It didn't seem like it from what
maybe they took a different approach. But if you don't know, Eidos Montreal does the Deus Ex games usually when they are allowed. But they, I mean, hopefully the lessons were learned in the development of these games, that putting a hard focus on the multiplayer doesn't make for a good product with this style of game. Avengers is getting some DLC. I imagine Crystal Dynamics is still working on the DLC for that. But I'm sure they've got another project they're working on. Probably another Tomb Raider, from what it seems like the rumors are pointing to, but who knows. We got the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel perfect remasters. Only for mobile and Steam, so it's another cash grab to get you to buy the same games over again.
I know. How many times is Final Fantasy going to get released at this point?
Yeah. I guess people were sad it wasn't coming out for Switch. Other people are like, well, you know, all I play it is on mobile these days. It's like,
these are the first introduction. For some of these games, this is the first time they've ever made it to mobile and Steam. But a lot of these were already on mobile. I know 4 was, like 3 was.
I know that. Although this time with the pixels, because was the Final Fantasy 6 port, was the mobile port as bad as the Steam port?
Probably not.
What, Final Fantasy 6?
Yeah, the one with the really blocky characters.
Well, the way they treat mobile ports is weird, because for Final Fantasy 4 they took the DS port. They took the DS remake and they put it on the phone. So I'm actually not sure, because I haven't played 6.
Yeah. I mean, in general, fine. Like, I'll probably buy 6 because I haven't played that in like 20 years. And being on mobile, that's kind of easy. People are going back traveling and stuff, and it's nice in the game, and you can just play on your phone without having to pull out a Switch.
I think I have that game on my Vita.
I have it on my SNASIC. I'm gonna play it on that. I think 6 is on the SNES Classic. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it is. I have it on this.
Yeah, I want to play it on there to validate that purchase.
Yeah, well,
got-
I still like my SNES Classic.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's just I haven't been using it, so I need to boot it
Yeah,
up.
mine's still in the box.
We saw their Final Fantasy gacha games that nobody really cares about.
The
I
Nier
don't know
Nier
anybody who plays
game.
those, but yeah, the Nier game looks okay. It's just I'm okay. I'll just watch a YouTuber.
As soon as I saw a mobile game, I was like, no.
Babylon's Fall is not what anybody expected it to be.
Live service?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks solid. It looks like a solid co-op game, like a co-op dungeon crawler from the looks of it to me. It looks solid, but I think we all expected sort of a action-packed platinum game in this sort of high fantasy setting that wasn't what we got.
Platinum hasn't really been.
It's action-packed, but it's not the platinum gameplay we're really used to, which it could be. I mean, I'm sure they wanted to try something different, but for me it was kind of a little bit of letdown. But it looks good in its own right. Like it looks like a good game to play with people. I wouldn't play it by myself though. From the looks.
No,
of it.
this is definitely a team play not mobile game, multiplayer.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with this announcement is what's happening with Bayonetta 3. Because if they have
it's still in development.
It's been in development for like how long?
Like 8 years.
I don't know.
Yeah. So either it's getting pushed to the side because Platinum's not a big team.
Yeah.
They gotta be fairly big to keep. Well, they gotta have at least 2 or 3 teams within Platinum working
I feel like I did
parallel.
hear from some random interview with the Platinum that it's still in development.
Yes, I saw that one. They've been saying that for a while, and like they should have something.
They must dislike Bayonetta games as much as I do.
Platinum, for a little while, ever since Nier Automata, their games have been kind of their gameplay has been kind of more depressing and more like just like not focusing on the stylish combat as much. Like Astral Chain, that just came off like a very kind of designed by committee game, and I was like,
Astral Chain. I don't know.
That was the Switch game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still gotta get deeper into it, but it's more complex combat than Nier. Nier is very simple. It's fun to look at, but it gets repetitive.
I mean, it just seems like the company's games are just getting more like it's like their Metal Gear Rising Revengeance days are like far behind them now, and it's like
everybody's getting used to platinum style combat. They need to make it more. They need to like do something different, and maybe that's what Babylon's Fall is. I don't know.
Astral Chain, the gameplay just came off really token, like with like we got the combat, but also we got these very token investigation sections and
I don't like that. I've done it. I've played it a little bit, and I haven't liked that so far. I just want to like actually get to the fights and the story progression, not the investigation.
Yeah, just...
a Final Fantasy 1. Is it a prequel? Is it a remake? We don't know.
Strangers in Paradise.
Yeah.
The one where Jack got isekai into the Final Fantasy world to kill chaos.
Because the subtitle's like Final Fantasy Origins. So I mean, is it a prequel to the first game? Is it a remake of the first game, kind of re-envisioned by Team Ninja?
Is the main villain in the first game, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know. Jamara, was he?
Well, Garland?
Chaos? Was he?
No, it was Garland, right?
Yeah, Chaos was a part of it, though, from what I looked up at the Final Fantasy 1 lore. But we still don't really know what the heck is going on. Apparently you will be able to change your outfit, so you're not just stuck with the Hot Topic V-neck.
Yeah, apparently there's a reason Jack is dressed like that, and people go like, oh, so he was isekai into the Final Fantasy world, because his 2 party members do not dress like that.
And that's a good point that you brought up, the party members. I don't know if they're swappable. That's something I was curious about. If like maybe each character's specific like proficiency is with one weapon and you swap through them to get a different play style, kind of like a Tales game in a way. No, definitely not. I don't think so.
I don't know.
the combat looked a bit rough from the trailer or from the gameplay we saw to me. Like for the kind of gameplay style they're going for, it didn't look like enemies were reacting to the hits as I thought they would. But it is a just something they're showing at E3, so it could be very early.
Yeah.
Um,
But to me, it looks like a B game. Like I'm not taking it serious as a AAA game.
give me DMC vibes. Like
Not DMC. I think it was like Rain Chaos Rain. It was like a hack and slash game similar to Devil May Cry. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, it gave me like the DMC reboot vibes. Is what I mean.
Yeah, that's Ninja Theory though, not Team Ninja.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Same.
But I did watch some of the some people play the demo that's on PS5 only, and it's like it looks okay. It's like the combat seems to be like very very decent, and you can die pretty easily in that game.
Corey, did you download the demo?
Is it working yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, it started working a day after it crashed.
I'll try it. I'll get back to you guys on that.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
I'll give it a shot. So some stuff that wasn't announced. We didn't see anything on Kingdom Hearts, which I'm kind of glad.
What a tragedy.
Did we expect a Chrono Trigger announcement?
No.
I didn't.
No, like Chrono Trigger was one shot. Like that's never happened again.
I think some people are wanting like a remake of it, or
it got a remaster. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, just play the DS version. Yeah, just play the DS version of Chrono Trigger. That's the best version out.
Yeah, and then like play Chrono Crusade on the if you can get on the PS Store, because Chrono Crusade is also highly acclaimed.
Square is one of the companies I really wasn't expecting anything out of the C3.
Yeah,
I mean, we already knew what they had on the table. We already knew most of what they had on the table. The only thing really new was, Guardians of the Galaxy. We got news on Babylon's Fall, so we got stuff, but I don't know. We knew Twiwi was coming. We knew Endwalker was coming.
I was very annoyed at how they just rushed through all those announcements at the end.
We didn't see 16. We didn't see a new trailer for 16. That would have been cool.
It's like, yeah, we're just rushing through all this. This is what we have. We're not gonna focus on this. Bye bye.
Yeah, but what do you guys give Square?
D.
F.
Yeah, it seemed more like a presentation like for investors than like for gamers. I don't know exactly.
We forgot Life is Strange. We saw that Life is Strange remastered.
That is a Square Enix game, right?
That nobody asked for. The remaster that we didn't need.
I give him a D as well.
Maybe the new protagonist will be interesting, but like hopefully, because but Life is Strange. I said this to you guys before, but even when Life is Strange was good, it was always over dramatic as heck. Like
I mean, people have emotions, so that's what.
Yeah, like I only tolerate. I tolerate it in the first game because if you pick the right choices, then you could just befriend. Then you can befriend them, and it's always kind of nice.
I picked the wrong choices because I was kind of skimming dialogue, and the girl jumped off the roof, and I was like, "Oh shit, no!"
And then they just treat you so badly for it. It's like I do not want to play.
But I can't. You didn't let me rewind. I thought I could rewind.
Yeah. I also knew who the villain was ahead of time. Like I knew you were the bad guy.
Mira, get out of the shot.
Okay, like I did not feel bad about blaming that guy when I didn't know he was the villain. I was like, because I didn't have proof on the other guy, so it's like, yeah, this guy's the villain. This guy, just blame him.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in the new game either, but I haven't been following the series for a while, so I'm probably not their core audience.
I mean, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, Life is Strange hasn't been great since the first game, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Don't Nod kind of dropped off of it, so.
Yeah. Don't Nod in general hasn't been great since the first game.
I give them a D+. I'll be generous here.
Yeah,
it's a D for me.
Yeah, D because of the chaos memes and because when the few things that they did looked kind of interesting, it's just that they were presented badly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of a waste of time to me.
It was a waste of time, but it's like Chaos memes, man. And also,
Yeah.
also, I don't think it was as, and obviously, I don't think it's as bad as. Well, I do think it was worse than Ubisoft's, from what I've heard of Ubisoft's. I don't think it was as bad as some of the other panels, though, that we're not even going
Yeah.
to cover because they were too bad that we
Yeah.
don't even want to reference them.
Sorry, Verizon.
Take-Two Interactive.
Okay. What did you guys think of the PC gaming show? I know I watched. I skimmed it.
I skimmed it as well.
Yeah.
Not applicable because I didn't watch it.
I saw quite a few good indies coming out.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah,
problem I
it's
had
kinda
with it,
nice.
I thought it was really cringy. Like the segues they had was just like this robot, and it was super cringy. But
Yeah.
other than that, like I liked Solstice. I thought that looked cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be too generic because everybody's trying to do that Souls-ish combat. So hopefully it has a little bit more than that. Raw Men. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was like a sort of a
What was
free
that?
for all
A
where they're like
fighter?
riding around in ramen bowls
But
and they're
you're
like
chefs?
you're
Yeah.
chefs, yeah, and like it looks like a series of different battles against other players, and you like throw food and you have objectives to you know, like get the meatball in this like scoring hole. But it was weird. It looked like a really interesting game. Tinykin was really cool. It looks like it's Pikmin inspired, but it's got like a Western art style, and it looks really fun. You're like kind of papery, so you got that like 2D paper look to you, kind of like Paper Mario, and it looked really neat. Um, Silt looked cool. It reminded me of like um Inside and Limbo monochrome art style where you're like underwater and you like possess sea creatures to navigate through the ocean to get you further in. So it's just another it's another kind of like puzzly adventure game and like a macabre sort of look. Um yeah, that was about all I saw.
Mech Warrior, always like Mech Warrior, and Project Warlock, which is basically like a kind of old school Quake Doom like game.
Cool.
Yeah.
What you guys give the PC gaming show if you watched it?
Yeah,
I was gonna
I mean, it
I was gonna
seems
go with a C plus.
I'd give him a C. That first scene where they had like all of the graphics cards on their spaceship or something, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, we've just been buying all of these." That made me angry, so that lowered down their score.
Oof.
But otherwise, yeah, it seemed like
How
some fun
could they?
games.
Oh, feel your pain. See,
Hmm.
it was average for me.
Cool.
Justin?
He didn't watch
I
it.
said not applicable, so
yeah.
I can't rate it.
I
And
think we could go pretty fast.
yeah, because there's nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, E3 in general was just nothing for the most part. It's like
Capcom said they were gonna release DLC for Resident Evil 8. That's pretty much the only thing they confirmed.
oh Capcom,
Which
Capcom's
is kind of
gonna take
expected given how
They had a
big
season
RE8
pass.
was. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're gonna bring Joe Baker back. And Joe Baker is gonna be like a Blue Umbrella enlistee.
I'd be surprised
Awesome.
they didn't try to milk Lady Dimitrescu somehow when they realized how popular she actually was going to be.
Oh, it was way too late. It was way too
we
late.
can't rewrite the game. Fuck.
I know.
They're probably gonna give her backstory. That's why there's DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was, like,
we
the
get
great
Monster
Ace
Hunter
Attorney.
2. Oh yeah, Ace Attorney gameplay, like a lot of Ace Attorney gameplay. I was like,
Yeah,
damn.
it's just the two new mechanics.
It looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. That's appealing if you didn't play Great Ace Attorney, but I have, so it's like whatever.
More Monster Hunter stuff.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Stories 2 got more gameplay. Go
Yeah,
look at
that game
gameplay
looks
of the
interesting.
treehouse. I really want to get it. Honestly, it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll get
it.
Yeah, the first one was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get it on release, but
Nah,
it looks like a lot of fun.
yeah,
That's it. Wait, no,
Yeah, I know, that was
there
just
was a Street Fighter like esports tour.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Esports.
Yeah, it was just announced with the games we already knew. So.
Yep. So Capcom D.
I'll rate it D plus just so it's higher than Square Enix's.
Well, Square Enix
But-
still had stuff.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, okay, that's a good point. Actually, you know what? I take it back, D.
See, because they had Monster Hunter stuff, and
We already knew about stories.
Yeah, well, the thing, I mean,
Yeah.
the thing they showed were fine. It's just that we already knew this stuff, so it's like, whatever.
Talking about the Monster Hunter stickers. You get
Yes,
the
oh, okay,
stickers
the
and
stickers.
and,
Okay.
and the glasses.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I give it
Nick.
a Mega Man 2 out of 9
Ooh.
for
Mega Man 2.
new
huh?
announcements.
but there's 11 Mega Mans.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're right. I think.
Yeah,
Well,
sure,
Well,
Mega Man-
11 then. Yeah.
So Nintendo, the Kazuha from Tekken will be the new Smash Bros. Fighter. and
Kazuya.
Everyone,
Oh,
the reaction
Kazuya.
as
you got it
expected
mixed up
was
with
kind of
Genshin. That's
meh.
why I was like, I looked at that name and I'm like, isn't that the same name as the Genshin character?
Kazuya.
Kazuha.
Yeah,
is
not
the new
that.
Genshin character.
That's spelled wrong.
Kazuya is
yeah.
the new character in Smash, and I thought it was always called Jin.
No,
No,
Jin's
that's
the other
the son.
guy.
It's a different
That's
character.
the son. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Hachi's
isn't he like the
grandfather.
face? Isn't he like the face of Tekken though?
No, I see Kazuya like promoted whenever I go to round 1. He's the one on the Tekken arcades, though.
Oh, I thought Jin was like the more popular
Actually,
character.
It's Kazuya is the most popular character.
In Tekken
It
7,
did-
at least.
Well, no, in just Tekken in general. Because he was the original protagonist, and then he became the antagonist, and then he became that other type of protagonist that I gotta look it up.
So there's a Devil Jin and a Devil Kazuya.
Yes.
There's like a
That's
lot
confusing.
of.
No, they're father and son. Like
Oh, okay.
the
So I mean,
main yeah.
is the old man
There's
the,
a lot
the
of
grandpa?
Tekken lore that Sakurai is
Huh?
going to be educating us
Hachi
on.
is the grandfather. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta get my like Tekken lore. I gotta play 1 through 7 before we record
Yeah.
again.
Or just watch the anime from like 97, 98.
Anime?
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, it was
That's-
good. Doll Springs did the soundtrack.
What? That's so cringe. Oh my god.
It is
I
so
love the
bad.
Offsprings, but that's just cringy.
Hey.
um.
Like- Yeah, Smash Bros. Basically is a fighting game now.
Yeah. Well, at
Yeah,
least
I
we didn't
saw-
get another sword fighter.
Yeah. I saw the reaction to Kazuya, and it was pretty muted. Like, we were like, yeah, whatever, for the most part.
It's like, I mean, what franchises they have left? Tekken made sense.
Honestly,
Yeah, well, there's also the Bandai Namco thing, because Bandai Namco
It's
worked on
good that they
Smash,
get
so...
weird
What Bandai
rep, I
Namco?
guess,
They already have
developing
Pac-Man.
games.
So
But
so
that's
Kazuya
not
felt like
really
an
like a
obligation.
rep.
Already
But
Pac-Man.
anyway.
yeah. Wait, is there
How
anybody
does
from
Bandai
Ubisoft
Namco
in
really do?
Is any characters in Ubisoft in Smash yet?
No.
There's a Mii
Not
fighter.
Rayman.
Everybody
Yeah,
thought
Rayman.
Rayman for the longest time.
I want to say there's like a Rabbids Mii costume though.
Or
Yeah,
like a
maybe.
assist trophy?
Ezio would.
No, Rabbit's not an assist trophy from what I know, and neither's Rayman. He's not in the game.
Alright. Well,
What would they even pull from Bandai Namco other than Pac-Man?
it would be Tekken or Tails characters.
Yeah.
Tails, Soul Calibur, maybe? Oh, no, they publish Soul Calibur, don't they?
Yes, that's their thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Tekken's more well known. Yeah, Tekken's.
Yeah, Tekken is more well known.
Yeah, for sure. Ace
Yeah.
Combat plane.
Oh no, JPEG dog.
Yeah. I'm sure that
Yeah,
the
there's-
reaction will get better
sorry,
once
there's
they
a-
introduce Kazuya's like gameplay demo, but
There's an
Yeah.
Altair outfit for Mii Sword Fighter and a Rabbids hat, and that's it from
Mm,
Ubisoft.
Alright.
Mii Fighter costumes. But yeah.
Yeah, moving on. Life is Strange collection for Switch. Woo. Guardians of the
Oh, this is-
Galaxy. Woo.
A lot of these.
Yeah, a
Um,
good chunk of the things we
The
A
new
good chunk of-
Worms game.
a good chunk of the stuff we talked about in the direct was stuff that we already talked about like at the beginning.
Astria Ascending. Wait.
Yeah, with
Oh,
that
yeah.
that foul Vanillaware game look thing that I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
showed
Super
Prime
the Super Monkey Ball like anniversary collection looked really good.
Yeah.
I never got big into the Monkey Ball games, but maybe I'll give it a shot.
They're fun.
Mario Party Superstars looks really good. I hope it's actually like they have solid boards. I mean, they can't fuck this up, right?
Well, we already talked about it, so hopefully.
I know. I mean, they can't
Yeah.
fuck this up. They're taking the old mini games. It's already there. The old boards. It's already there. Okay, we'll see.
I feel like you have to use an amiibo to like actually play the game.
To
or
unlock the
something.
characters.
Okay,
I just feel
that
like
would
there's gotta
be
some
the
way.
dumbest thing ever.
But they could to roll again, pull out your amiibo.
Well, they did. They could do another
Even
Mario
amiibo
Party
for
line.
Wii.
You remember when Mario Party came out for was
There
it
were a
3DS or it was the Wii U Mario Party, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
They did the
we
whole
don't talk
Mario
about
Party
those.
line. They did
Yeah,
the whole
like
new
red-
Mario
We
Party.
do not talk
Nights.
about the Wii U Mario Party games
Um.
and the car.
Oh yeah, the car was so stupid. Like, what do you even like? It's not even a board game anymore. You're all together. Metroid Prime 4 exists
Mhm.
somewhere. Not at E3.
I mean, they did have to
Um,
Yeah.
redo everything.
But
so-
they at least
That's-
acknowledge that it's still a possibility
they're
that they will continue the series for another year.
yeah.
And plus, we're getting Dread, so
We're getting Dread. Just Dance. Talked about that. I don't remember what Cruising Blast was. Was that the,
isn't that
like,
the
racing
cruising?
game?
Yeah, Cruising World.
Yeah.
It's like a arcade cabinet game that's
Yeah,
you can play
DBZ
it.
Kakarot port. Cool. Mario Golf Super Rush will be getting DLC. I still haven't played that. It looks fun though. All the Monster Hunter Stories gameplay, the new WarioWare. Yep. We saw Shin Megami Tensei 5 gameplay,
Mhm.
and we got a date, right? Did we get a date?
Yeah,
Got a
it's
date.
nice.
Right?
yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know, but you know, like I will say though, if you look at the gameplay of Shin Megami Tensei 5 on its own, it looks very basic.
I mean,
Like-
all the Shin Megami Tensei games look basic.
Yeah. It just
Some
seems
Shin
like-
Megami Tensei fans would be like, "What the fuck you talking about?" And I'm like, "It's
like
Yeah.
like
basic
like
JRPG."
I
like
haven't
it's
played any of them.
the same the same RPG mechanics and the style.
They cleaned
Yes,
it
it wasn't
up,
look-
and they look like they streamlined it a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks
Um,
streamlined. The style looks nice, but
There's no reason to
It-
change what works.
Yeah. It will sell well in Japan and okay outside of Japan.
Mm.
And
I
that's
think it'll
okay.
actually. I think it'll do a lot higher numbers than they usually do, given the
Yeah,
Persona
probably.
5 craze. I
That's-
think
yeah,
it'll ride
definitely.
that wave.
That's gotten more popular now.
that said
Um,
though, I really hope the story is not like a step down from Nocturne like Shin Megami Tensei
Okay.
4 was.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it has a low
4
bar
was
after
a
4.
giant. 4 was not. 4 story was dog crap compared to like its predecessor. like-
I thought the main character was a girl for the longest time until I read a YouTube comment.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has an the 5 protagonist has an androgynous look. Like that long hair, man. You need to
No,
get that
it
cut.
was like the facial structure, the eyelashes. I'm like, how is that a guy? How are you trying to like give me the impression? I don't know.
well,
maybe they
if,
mean for it
if,
to
well,
be
if he doesn't
androgynous,
have
but-
cleavage, then he's a guy. Okay, that's the way it works. If you don't have cleavage, then yeah.
I guess I should just run with that logic.
Yeah. You know what? Love who you want to love. That's all I say.
Oh yeah, Happy Pride Month. Yeah, we were gonna.
Dungeon Ropa
It's-
Collection.
I guess.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
we talked about that.
Fatal Frame port for Maiden of Blackwater, which was stuck on the Wii U.
How was
It's
that? I
free.
never played it.
I never played it either.
Because
I heard it
because of the
was
way
bad.
you had, yeah, because of the way you had to play the game, like you were forced to use the Wii U pad as the camera. It did not. It did not.
Yeah, that's probably why. But yeah, I heard it was bad, so I stayed away from it, and I guess that's why.
Yeah.
Alright.
But
Good.
yeah, maybe I'll wait for the price to drop on it, and I'll get it for Switch.
Yeah, that's all right. It's on Steam as well, I believe. So it's like
Oh,
yeah. So
cool,
they're
cool.
gonna get rid of the gimmick. So maybe
Yeah.
it'll be playable this time.
Doom Eternal DLC is coming. Tony Hawk
Yeah.
Pro Skater remakes are coming. Strange Brigade. I don't remember what that was.
That sounds like
for
a
the
good
game.
name. I don't know what it is, but I'll buy it because I like the name.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's like a 4-player random dungeon thing.
Oh yeah, that looked
It
dumb.
just wasn't that interesting enough
It
to
looked
remember
generic.
what it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I still have
Um,
to buy it because I announced that was
Yeah,
going
you have to buy it. Tell me how it is. There's a Mario Rabbids we talked about, Advance Wars 1 and 2
Oh,
remakes, which I'll
I'm
definitely
actually
buy.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited
Definitely
about
buy.
that.
I've never played
Yeah,
them, so for me it's a definite buy.
Oh, they were super
Yeah.
fun. Like playing it at school, like hooking up the Game Boy Advances to do multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're fun games.
Cool.
Even though sadly, so we may talk about it later, things that weren't announced. There weren't any Fire Emblem remake games that were announced, but it seems
Good.
like this is the Intelligent Systems like game that comes out. I mean, it's not being done by Intelligent Systems, but and it's good. You know, I've heard good things about Advance Wars, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to play Genealogy on a Switch, but
I don't know. They get a porting studio for Advance Wars, or is
I don't know. Intelligent Systems
I
are
think
doing
Intelligent's doing it, right?
Yeah,
let me double check on that. I thought it was.
Double
But
check
I
that,
mean,
but
it's
I'm pretty
obviously not going to take their whole team, but
No.
they might be doing it themselves in house.
Yeah,
Age
I
of
think it's
Calamity
great.
DLC's coming.
Oh, that's here already.
Skyward Sword HD. Amiibo's
Yeah.
still out of stock.
Yeah,
Zelda
well-
Game and Watch. Looks cool. Cool collector's item. Not for me,
Yeah,
really.
remind me of the Mario Game and Watch that was announced for like that anniversary, I think.
Yeah.
But it is a shame though that this is all they have for Zelda's 35th anniversary. Just like
Right.
this.
I mean, when they've got so much assets they could use, like they've got Majora's Mask remake, they got Ocarina remake. They could even just port the 64 version.
Or
wanted
the
to.
3DS versions.
They won't.
Yeah, compared to like
Well,
everything
still,
that
because
Mario,
they know we'll buy the 64
year.
versions and it's easier.
Yeah.
Mario even got like a Splatoon Splatfest of Mario things. There's no Zelda Splatfest.
Zelda's
but
just a minor IP.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
what would have made
Mario-
I know.
Yeah, Mario built the house that Zelda sleeps in, so of course they'll get big billing.
What would have made the Direct a 10 out of 10 is they announced for the Zelda anniversary Blu-ray releases of the Legend of Zelda cartoon from the 90s.
I thought you were gonna say
it's rated 10. It's rated 10 and 10 because WarioWare was announced, and
Well,
the bonus was Advance Wars. So
okay, well, but I'm telling you that, excuse me, Princess, would have just shot it up to 100 out of 10 then.
as the CEA. Oh, it's Way Forward is doing the Advanced
Ooh,
Wars remake.
The Shantae studio?
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
I
Huh.
had to
Alright.
keep
That's
searching around
weird.
a little bit. That's who it is. Yes, it's not really like
Oh.
IS is probably there somehow in the background, but that's the developer reporting to.
I think
Alright.
we'll get it. We'll get
Makes
an
sense.
intelligent after we get through the rest of these. But outside of that, we saw some Breath of the Wild 2 trailers. Yeah, it looks really edgy.
Well, it was 1 minute and 30 seconds.
It's enough. That's what you get. There's your anniversary.
Exactly. There's been 30-minute plus long analysis video YouTube theory videos that I may have watched way too many of on that 1 minute and 30 seconds of the trailer that we saw.
They really
so
went
we'll
on that
see, yeah.
long? Usually it'd be like 10 to 15 minutes.
And but interestingly, this was like the first actual gameplay have gotten of the sequel to Breath of the Wild. The name is they have settled on a name, but they're not going to tell us until closer to release because apparently the name would give away a bit of the story or something like that. So for now,
Skyward
she'll call it
Sword
Breath of the Wild
2.
Well,
But yeah, that's what people
I
are
mean,
saying.
what's the difference between telling us when they have a date pinned down and telling us now? You know, it's like they're gonna have to spoil it at some point. They're gonna have to give it a title at some point. But
maybe they just
whatever.
don't have a title.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
We got Legend of Zelda: Hyrule Moving Castle, The Calamity Strikes Back, Zelda Can't Catch a Break. There's some
Triforce Awakens.
Last Calamity Strikes Back. I mean, I don't know what it could be, but
No.
we'll see.
Four Swords too.
I mean, Calamity Ganon has got to be one of the most uninteresting versions of Ganon I've ever seen. He's just like some vague evil force that's just there.
I love Puppet Ganon from Wind Waker. One of my favorites.
Yes. Which is why, like, whatever's going on with this corpse of Ganondorf, it's gonna be what is going on. Is this the same one from Ocarina of Time? Like, was he
How many
controlling
times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Like, it's just gonna be because like, what's happening to Link's arm? People are saying maybe this goes back in the past based on what Link is wearing.
Link to the past?
This even Link?
Yeah.
It
Link to
could
the
be
future.
something. And then definitely like links to Skyward Sword then also make more sense because there's like floating islands and maybe it has something to do with the cloud barrier
Skyward
from that
Sword's
Skyward
like
Sword game.
thousands of years ago, right?
Already.
Yeah, 2011.
Right, that's the first game.
Well, I mean, like in the timeline, it's like it's like way before anything.
It was like the origin of the Master Sword, I believe, and all.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
So stuff that we thought would be there, but well, stuff that we know
hoping would be there.
Yeah, hoping would be there, I should say. There wasn't a Donkey Kong Country game.
But we just got one 2 years ago.
No.
Hey.
What?
I don't count Funky Kong.
But how many people bought the Wii U version? So that's practically a new game for everybody.
I bought it. Well, no, I didn't buy it. I redeemed it. I redeemed it with the Nintendo Club points when Nintendo Club was good. Yeah. Now they have that stupid service.
It needed a second version of the DK rap to be a true masterpiece.
There was an era of Wii U where they were giving you games for free that to get you to keep buying stuff. Yeah, Club Nintendo was so good, and now they have what's it called now? My Nintendo? It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. Terrible. So cheap. Like, oh yeah, you get you buy like 10 of our games, you'll have enough for a 20% discount for an indie.
Oh, you wish you get 20% discount. It's like 5% in a wallpaper.
Get some Christmas cards for the family, $3.99 shipping. It's awful. I think I did take them. I paid the shipping. I have them in my drawer.
Wait, I never got a.
You have to redeem your games on the Wii, on the Switch.
I was saying you didn't mail me a card, Corey. What the?
Oh
yeah, or me.
Well, I mean, it took me so long to get those points. I got the cards laminated.
Sorry, how could you?
I'm keeping them.
You betrayed us. You put, and I don't care anymore.
They're collector's items now. So no info on Hollow Knight Silksong, which they didn't really need to be at the Nintendo conference anyways. They could have been at the PC conference just as easily. Yeah. No Switch Pro. It probably doesn't exist at this point. I think it was just rumors. I'm not sure.
Didn't Bowser talked about it? Or
he said vaguely that was like, we may or may not be looking into future developments in technology, blah 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 blah. But like, he didn't.
He's talking about Labo.
Yeah,
talking about Labo enhancement.
Some interviewers were asking him to like more information, and he never denied it, but he didn't really have anything to say.
Yeah,
but we all know there's a new system because we're going on what, 5 years?
Yeah, I mean it's ready. It's ready for a new model.
Yeah,
and we've talked about it multiple times about how the NVIDIA processors are ready, and NVIDIA integrated graphics is ready for a new. They can definitely support it, and they definitely support a new hackable Switch. There was no Pokemon news, which I personally didn't think we needed any. I thought we got plenty during the Pokemon Direct. Clearly they aren't ready. I mean, Diamond and what will they give the fancy names for the new ones?
Shining Diamond,
and something Pearl. Yeah, I don't know.
Something Platinum.
Yeah, we were hoping there'd be some gameplay, but again, there was a lot of other stuff.
I mean, we've seen gameplay for Platinum and Pearl, and it looks like bad. It looks okay. It looks okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
As I say, people were hoping there would be update. People are hoping for way too much.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will like mod it and put all the actual
original
models.
Sprites.
Yeah, well, not the original sprites, but the 3D models they have probably hidden in the game from Sword and Shield in, They just didn't want to implement them. I bet it's like in some like locked archive and already on the cartridge. They just didn't use it.
All right, you're giving them way too much credit that they actually did half of that work.
They have the assets. They reuse the assets for the trainers like every game. You see the same trainers.
Anyway,
I'll have to see. Yeah.
I mean,
they would have to remake like they'd have to do the Elite Four and the Gem Leaders, and there's trainers they would have to redo.
I still point to Millennium Loops on Twitter's amazing remake, like trailer that he put together in like a weekend that just
before it got DMCA'd
out of the water. Did it? I don't think it did because
have
it
you
wasn't
heard from him in a bit.
Oh, maybe he was taken by the Ninjas, but it wasn't like a full game or anything. But it was basically what people would have been looking for in a more cinematic trailer of these games.
Well, it's Game Freak doesn't care. Like you gonna make Game Freak actually work?
Oh, are you talking about Pokemon now?
Yeah.
Just if we'll find out anything else. Oh, actually, there was Pokemon Unite nation, but that's the mobile MOBA. That's like it doesn't look half bad, but it's Tencent games that are the League of Legends guys too in China, and I have feelings about that it's probably enough. I want to play it.
Yeah, it'd still be toxic if it has voice chat.
So, also, no Zelda anniversary updates, really.
I mean, do we really need? Because most of the Zelda games are pretty widely available, whether it's on like the Nintendo Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, Switch Online.
Well, we're just saying Nintendo could make more money if they wanted. They just choose not to. Questionable porting decisions.
Again, I'm fine with not having an anniversary. I still have most of my Legend of Zelda games.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. If we're not going to play it, they're not going to waste the time.
No Bayonetta 3 news, no Xenoblade news, no Animal Crossing updates, and
I'm surprised no Animal Crossing updates. They've been announcing those frequently.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for Nintendo.
Yep.
Sony. Oh wait, what would we rate Nintendo?
What would our scores be?
I was giving them a B+. And I was gonna give them higher if there was a big announcement at Treehouse. Actually, there was a big announcement at Treehouse, a Metroid Special Edition, and I should bring them down to a fucking B, because they announced it during Treehouse while I was working, and then it already sold out in 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
But I don't care. It's a shitty Special Edition anyway. It's like $30 for a hardcover and like a subpar looking steelbook.
Yeah.
Oh, steelbook looks okay. That's not $30 okay.
No, I'll give it A-. I got the announcements of the game announcements I wanted. I got my Metroid, I got WarioWare, and the bonus I got Advance Wars. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'd give him A- too. Actually, that was what I was thinking.
Stand firm at B+.
Zelda socks announcement or whatever it was, all the stuff that they gave for Mario's 35th anniversary. But I'm fine. That was still pretty good.
B+ because of the Danganronpa Island game. Really, it'd be B otherwise, because it still has the problems with like usual Nintendo, and that it's a little like it's like in like current Nintendo that a lot of the releases are re-releases, and it's like
but they've laid out the rest of the year for us, and so I mean, no publisher could really do that very successfully but Nintendo this E3. And you can tell they're saving a lot. They're keeping a lot in the back for Nintendo Directs, so they're thinking ahead.
And I think everything they showed had gameplay in it.
So. Yeah, for the most part.
So with I mean, granted, the Breath of the Wild 2 one was kind of like the gameplay was limited, but whatever. But yeah. Other than that, though, like I said, it said B+ for like some very cool announcements. Just kind of wish they would tone down like the remakes and the re-releases a bit.
Yeah. And here we are asking for more Zelda ports.
Yeah, but the Zelda ports, like the first 3 again on like a Game & Watch, I'm like, fine, whatever.
So outside of that, there was some Genshin updates if you follow that. We got the Golden Apple Archipelago. Inazuma's coming in 1.6. And pretty much it. Like, if you want to get the new character Kazuha, he comes out next week.
Yes,
yeah, next week, next Tuesday.
What kind of character is he again? Is he Pyro?
Anemo Sword.
Anemo, he looks like Pyro.
Anemo Sword, yeah.
Anemo.
People seem to be kind of disappointed that he's not a good vacuum character because we needed more to group. We need more characters that group. But they don't exist. Too many Abyss levels that require grouping that no characters really do well, but like two. Yeah, but I mean, it's really cool. It was a surprise patch that has a lot of content. I've already cleared it all, but it has a lot of content, and there's a lot of cool, neat stuff that you can get for a limited time. New costumes that are expensive. What else? That is about it. About it for Genshin. Anybody want to have anything else to add before we close out?
It's gonna be interesting. Like, so the next region, Inazuma, is based on Japan, specifically in their like closed off isolationist time period, which is not really depicted in media or anime or anything all that much because they don't really like to talk about it. Is the Sakoku policy, and even in the game, it's called the Sakoku degree, or the vision hunt of characters with the visions. But yeah, they kind of like would kill a lot of foreigners, ships, or even if you were a Japanese citizen and you traveled to another country and then came back, you would also be killed under these decrees. So it's really gonna be interesting, and it's suspicious, I suppose, in some ways that this Chinese developed game is like portraying their Japanese related region in this time period, but we'll have to see. I don't know how historically accurate it's actually going to be, but that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. And I have one last thing on E3. I think the best presentation was the one never made, so A+ for Sony.
Sony's the winner.
Sony won because they didn't do anything half-assed like a lot of the.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be ready for a new PlayStation experience, and they'll show us what they have.
Yeah, and I think that's the smart move. So
we have some meetups coming up. We have a painting session of Starry Night. It's like you get like wine there, right? You can drink there, like drinking painting session. I think it's full. Pretty sure it's already full. But I don't remember the admission fee.
Most of these, I think they may be about full actually right now.
Yeah.
Because we're back to in-person events.
That's this Friday, the 25th, depending on when you watch this. June 25th, 2021. And Saturday, June 26th, we have the anime discussion for O Maidens in Your Savage Season. I like that anime. I think it's pretty fun. It's very awkward. Got that high school awkwardness, and I think it does its best to stay away from the trendy high school romance and being like just very generic. And that was just a nice refreshing change of pace for me because I was so tired of the high school romance comedies. Saturday, July 3rd, we have Wind Rises watch party at Andrews. It's a potluck. Bring chips, bring drinks, bring lobster.
Yeah, it was originally scheduled for this weekend, but I kind of screwed up the date on when I was supposed to visit my parents. So
it would be a lot with the Gunpla meetup, anyways.
Yeah. Just bring your parents to it.
The Gunpla meetup was last.
This weekend. Okay.
I mean the discussion. Yeah, the discussion. Yeah, that kind of worked out in Andrew's favor because discussion and the movie thing probably would have been much. So yeah.
Yeah, the Barnes & Noble, like where we would be meeting up, they're still like, nah.
No, it's not Barnes & Noble. It's the
Half Price. I keep always saying Barnes & Noble.
Why? What? Barnes and
don't-
Noble has nowhere
They're
we
the
can.
same in my head. They both sell
Why?
books.
I don't see why.
I get Barnes and Noble and Books a Million mixed up, but not HPB.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
That's something you can mix up. easily.
I don't know what that last one is. You guys can talk about it.
Oh, the Josie and
Oh,
that's not even an
movie.
official meetup. I don't know why anyone put that on there.
Oh, sorry.
Just
Okay, ignore
we
it.
don't- Yeah.
That wasn't a thing.
nothing.
Yeah,
But that's pretty much what we got going on. I'm thinking of doing a meetup soon. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Maybe another anime opening meetup. Maybe a actually what I'm interested in doing is a animated music video watch
AMV.
party. No, not
AMV.
exactly. I mean, technically, but more like with contemporary artists, with like
Oh,
actual
music
Western
videos?
actual Western artists and Japanese artists, and like actual music videos that use animation, and we could get a compilation of them, and we could see all the different styles. That'd be pretty cool. So maybe something like that if there's interest. But cool. Well, I think that's about all we have. Justin, you want to sign off with us? Welcome back.
Sorry about
You're
that.
good. We're just closing out here. Thanks everybody
Yeah.
for joining us for this episode, this E3 recap. We hope you enjoyed it more than we did. We didn't
No,
enjoy
I
E3.
doubt that. I doubt that though.
E3 was
Someone was
suffering.
saying the
Maybe
best
so.
thing to look forward to at this E3 was the 2022 E3, or basically like everything coming out next year.
I mean,
Yeah.
E3 hasn't been good in years, honestly. Like, I bet.
It's been a
like,
while. It was good in 2018, I think.
well, I mean, it has,
2018,
but
2017.
granted, it had way more highlights than this year. That's
Mm.
definitely for sure.
The year we got Mario Odyssey and all the other reveals, it was like, whoa.
That was good. The
Nintendo
year that
says E3.
the E3 where all those people got doxxed. That one.
I don't know about
the
that
actual
year.
game. The actual game announced. That's 2019. The game announcements were actually fine in that.
Okay.
the doxing, not so much.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool, guys. Thanks for
All right.
joining us, and we'll see you
Awesome,
next
thanks.
episode. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye, guys.